Drippers and fans of drip far and wide, we are just 1 week away from Johnny Drip Drip 2025. If you'll join me, I have a few items to address as we get ready for our major event and the biggest event of the summer. The first thing to cover is the 2025 schedule reveal. If you'll follow me over here, you will see that we have 4 seeding games as usual, followed by 2 semifinal matchups on the road to the Purple Truck Trophy, and then the championship game. Now, we have 2 matchups already set. This is because every year you play 2 seeding games, and you play 2 of the 3 teams in those seeding games. You are guaranteed to play the third team you didn't play in seeding games the next year. So, the 2 matchups that we didn't have in seeding games last year were Big Time Bologna against Lobsters and the Dillos against the 6 Mile Slammers. Now, coincidentally, these were our 2 semifinal matchups from last year, so we'll be starting the year off with some revenge games. The only other thing to note is that the 6 Mile Slammers and the Dillos are going to have some personnel struggles getting up to the lake on the day of seeding games, so we're locking in 6 Mile Slammers against Dillos as seeding game number 4. Now, if you'll follow me, we'll look at these other potential matchups. We'll go to a wheel. We'll spin the wheel 1 time, and that will determine the rest of the games. I'll show you how. Follow along. Here are our other 4 matchups. Bologna versus Dillos, Slammers versus Lobsters, Slammers versus Bologna, or Dillos versus Lobsters. Let's randomize these babies a couple times. 1, 2, 3, maybe make it 4. And my favorite thing to do, let's spin the wheel. The anticipation is killing me. Who's it going to be? Big Time Bologna versus the Dillos. Excellent. Well, we can remove this from the wheel, and in fact, we can remove the entire wheel. And as you'll see, this will determine all of our seeding games. We know that the Big Time Bologna will now play the Dillos. And what that means is we can remove seeding games with the Dillos and with the Big Time Bologna. Oh, but we don't want to remove the Purple Truck Trophy now, do we? Let's put it back. I don't know why I did that. Let's go back over here. Come on now. All right, we'll get rid of that guy. We'll get rid of that guy. We'll get rid of that guy. And we'll get rid of this guy. Now, this means the other seeding matchup will be the Lobsters against the 6 Mile Slammers. And just like that, we have our slate. Now, there is one last thing we must do, and that's to determine the home and away teams. Simply one flip of the coin will determine all the home and away matchups. And like before, I'll show you how. We'll flip for Big Time Bologna. Heads means they are the home team in game 1, and tails means they are the away team. Flip that coin. Tails. Big Time Bologna, they are going to be the away team. We can get rid of this now. And watch as we make all these matchups. Big Time Bologna, they're going to go down below as the away team, and Lobster is going to come up top. In this next game here, we have the Big Time Bologna, so we're going to put them down here as the home team. Sorry, we're going to keep them up here as the home team. And we're going to put the Dillos down here as the away team, which means the Dillos are going to be the home team in their final game of the day, and the 6 Mile Slammers are going to be the away team. And since the 6 Mile Slammers are the away team in this game, we're going to make them the home team in this game, while the Lobsters will be the away team. Now, like mentioned before, we just know that this seeding game 4 is going to be the last game of the day. Seeding games 2 and 3 can fluctuate. We could maybe play seeding game 3 before seeding game 2, but as for now, this is how we're going to identify our 4 matchups for Johnny Drip Drip 2025. All right, and moving on to the next item, we have 2 new statistics to be recorded in the future of Johnny Drip Drip. The first of which is pretty simple, and that's the strikeout. The strikeout is something that we already all know what it is, and we've been paying attention to it every year, but it is only recorded as an out recorded like any other out in the game. Now, when a pitcher strikes out a batter, they will also be awarded a K in addition to the out recorded. Let's see who gets the most Ks this year. Our pitcher extraordinaire, Pitch Mick K, isn't going to be there, so will it be Wes or Eric or maybe Wyatt? Or who else could it be? Who are the 6 Mile Slammers going to put out there? I guess we'll have to find out. Now, Moving on to the other stat, and perhaps everybody's long-awaited gun down. The gun down is a stat specifically designed to help award our players who float out in the outfield. These players often do a lot of heavy lifting for the team, but don't show up in the stats at all. Some players that fill this role would be Borger Nathan Smith, the man who can float in the water for seemingly 2 hours, our returning man Grant Hamilton, the 6-mile slammer, and, of course, everybody's favorite sniper, Double Barrel Mike. Take a look over here at the screen and I'll help to explain what a gun down is. Looking at this zoomed out view of the field, you can see the area we've designated as the outfield. Now, on any ball that is hit beyond the raft, the gun down can come into play. If the ball's past the raft and about 5 to 10 feet beyond it, it enters the gun down zone. Now, in the gun down zone, an outfielder can recover the ball, and if they deliver a perfect strike to the raft and an out is recorded, they are awarded a gun down. This is essentially an outfield assist or an assist. But, of course, in Johnny Drip Drip, it's a gun down. Now, one thing to note is that a gun down can be rewarded multiple times in one play. So, if an outfielder throws the ball to the raft, and the sentinel records a deletion, therefore they would get 2 gun downs. And maybe the sentinel jumps off and tags the third batter. There we go. Now it's a total deletion, and the outfielder gets a triple gun down. Let me show you a couple videos to help drive the point home for all our stat keepers and players this year, just so they know what they're playing for. First up, we're going to take this thing back 2 years. This was 2023. The game was tied 4-4. I believe this was the semifinal matchup between the 6-mile slammers and the Mouster Lobsters. The Mouster Lobsters get a huge hit here with a chance to walk off. However, Jack, who's playing in the outfield, says something different. Take a look. All right, as you see here, this ball lands here about 5, at least 10 feet beyond the raft. Now it's in the range for a gun down to be recorded. Jack recovers the ball. 1 and 2 outs are recorded. Not only does this play save the game for the 6-mile slammers and send the game to overtime, which of course they would eventually win, but retroactively, and we aren't awarding stats retroactively because we'd have to watch too much footage, but this would have been a double gun down. Okay, now I have one other example, and this play isn't actually a gun down, but it helps to show how great some of those outfielders' arms really are. Take a look at Double Barrel Mike last year.
Throwing the pitch, Jack with a big screamer line drive out to left field. He is swimming for that raft. Can he mount it?
With a good throw, though.
Or no longer.
If he was going up against anyone that wasn't the human fish Jack Van Houten, he might very well have had at least 1 gun down on the play. But, of course, Jack mounted the raft and there was no gun down recorded. But I hope this helps to demonstrate what a gun down is. And this year, we can start to pull the gun down into our record keeping. All right. This has been an excellent state of the address. We only have 1 week, so get out there, do your dips, do your laps in the pool, get your apparel ready, get it all ready because it's almost time to drip, folks. But all I have to say is, I think it's time for the big time Bologna to take it home this year because they got a few folks on the team that are ready to go, including the Shark. Creator out.